Will only drinking raw milk for 30 days cure your Crohn's disease? This is a claim made by Dr. Porter. Thousands of success cases with people with digestive issues, and all he did was have them drink raw milk from 30 to 60 days, and all their symptoms magically disappeared. In practice today, I have seen many people perform the raw milk cure, and they do not get better. And our neighbor had a cow, and we would get fresh, warm, raw milk. I drink it every single day for a whole entire year. I've been drinking raw milk for over 5 years, and it did not fix my Crohn's disease. There are some big overlooked aspects of the raw milk cure that Dr. Porter points out, but a lot of people in modern society today tend to overlook. There's some big differences between living in the early 1900s and living in the modern era today that can greatly affect your Crohn's disease. Raw milk is a great food. It has lots of nutrients in it, easy to digest. It is a mild probiotic. But the difference between milk today and century is today milk has a bad reputation. I don't get it. I don't understand why milk has a bad reputation since it's so easy to digest and so nutrient dense, but it does. And that is important because your brain, this little thing right here, it controls your entire body. And if it controls your entire body, it controls your Crohn's disease. And so Crohn's is caused by indigestible anger. And this triggers a process of cell proliferation. These extra gut cells help digest and absorb this hard to digest thing in your life that you're angry about. And when that conflict gets resolved, this indigestible anger gets resolved, your body gets rid of these extra gut cells. It no longer needs them. And we're removing physical flesh from the body. And that's when you get diarrhea, blood, mucus, pain, all those fun symptoms. What keeps this process yo-yoing back and forth is one of the big things, unresolved stress. The stress keeps reoccurring, but another thing is food phobias. Being afraid of baby food. 50 years ago, there was no such thing as dairy intolerance because they knew it was insane to think of such a food like this to not be good for you. It just doesn't make sense. But today, we have this belief system that energy and nutrients isn't good for you. And so if you're consuming milk and you are not sure about it, you are not 100% confident that this easy to digest energy and nutrients is good for you, it triggers that cell proliferation and cell removal process. And to help fuel that belief, you have to understand what Crohn's disease actually is. It's a response to indigestible anger. It's not a response to easy to digest energy and nutrients. Another big thing that Dr. Porter had all of his patients do that was extremely important is 1 month of bed rest. Now, I know this isn't practical to do in the modern world. We have to understand the function that this bed rest serves. These people, what they would do is they would, think about this. This is 100 years ago. You didn't have cars. They had trains, so you would get there by a train or like a steamboat. You would get to these places by horse and carriage. I mean, how do you do that? It's hard to do today to take off a month or two of work and all that stuff. But that's what these people did. They dropped everything, no cell phones, no email. Maybe they had telephones. Maybe what did you do? Send a telegram back then? They really had to mentally drop everything to go to this sanatorium that was across the country or across the world, and then they sat in bed and they did nothing for 2 months. They shut off their brain. Essentially what he was doing is he was stopping the indigestible anger because these people would literally sit in bed and just sleep and do nothing. That sounds like torture to me. I imagine after the 3rd or 4th or 5th day, you learn to shut off your brain and get into this routine where you think about nothing. They weren't allowed visitors. Some were allowed to read a book, but no work. They didn't have the news stimulating them. Right now we have bed rest. You're sitting in your phone flipping through it, reading news and getting agitated from your Facebook feed and stuff like that. When you understand the root cause, you can make these remedies much more effective. You don't need to use raw milk to heal your gut. You could use pasteurized milk. I know a lot of you don't have access to raw milk, and a lot of you, it's very expensive. And you need to drink. It's not easy to do. I've tried it. I had to drink 1.5 gallons every single day. When you do that, all you're doing is peeing all day long, and you get sick and tired of milk. As much as I love milk, you get sick and tired of milk by like the second or third day. And then if you're going to be really serious about it and do the bed rest aspect of it, good luck. It's almost not possible in the modern age. We're just not wired to be that way. But when you understand that it's indigestible anger and you address that and you stop being afraid of energy and nutrients, I've seen people gain 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two. They just stop blaming food and they understand that their symptoms are a result of some psychological trigger. Maybe it makes them emotional, maybe it's just seeing something, but that's it, they get better. But if you want to know my 30-day plan, just click right here. You'll get my 30-day plan absolutely free. Bye, guys.